Go, 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 Salvage. It's your birthday. We're gonna party like it's your birthday. We're gonna sip Bacardi like it's your birthday. And we're gonna get 400 likes like it's my birthday. Let's go, baby! If you're new, go ahead and subscribe. My birthday was 2 days ago, so if you could give me a belated birthday present, that would be the best one you could give me. And also, go ahead and give the video a like. Like I said, let's go ahead and get 400 likes. That'd be amazing. And thank you so much for all the support. I can't breathe, but fuck it, because we're going to keep the mask on even if I can't breathe. So the first one that we're going to be talking about here, the thing that we're going to be talking about, is what Marvel Spider-Man 2 can improve from the first game. And I personally think that there's a lot of people call me a dick riding fanboy, and honestly, I love the games. I think that there's not a lot wrong with them besides a few minor aspects, but I'll get into that in this video. Holy shit, fuck it. I can't breathe. But realistically, I really think that, this first one's a good one. Combat variety. I think that there's a lot of enemies that they could have easily put into the game. Like, there's a lot of things that they could still do, and I feel like there's just so much potential that was kind of wasted in the first game with combat variety. Even with like the animations and the way that you kick enemies, like the default kick, when you kick somebody, people can just spam square and essentially just lets you do that the whole time. So I think that's something that they could kind of improve upon, and it already looks like they're already doing something like that. I also think that overall, just the overall feeling of combat can flow a lot better, because sometimes it feels like you're kind of lasting too long, or like you're using overpowered like gadgets and stuff like that. So if they balance it out a little bit more, it would definitely feel like it's a lot better. Like, honestly, they just need a little bit of quality of life changes. I'm sure they've already done that. The way it looks so much better. They definitely improved every aspect that they could have with the gadgets, the quickfire gadgets. That looks like it feels amazing. Just the overall feel of the game, and the combat variety, like the dogs and whatnot, that's brand new. That's very interesting. Fighting mechanical dogs or mechanical birds, or fucking random people throwing nets at you, and the variety of characters or type of enemy types that we haven't seen yet. So I think that there's a lot that could be kind of explored with this, and can definitely be improved upon from the first game. I really can't wait to see what they kind of do with, of course, Peter and of course Miles' new takedowns, with of course the ability to have them swoop in out of nowhere. I want to see all the variety of combat takedowns for them, because that looks amazing as well. So combat definitely looks like it's a step up. Definitely improvement no matter what. The next one is, of course, freaking story. There's multiple story issues within this game. The first game, of course, that have a lot of glaring issues. Of course, the most glaring one is the MJ and Miles missions. When you get to play as MJ and Miles, that's basically kind of taken care of now, because Miles is Spider-Man, so you're not going to ever play as him. And MJ, it looks like she's only going to have like a few sections, maybe most likely the one where she gets chased by Peter, so that's really cool. But within the Miles Morales game and Spider-Man PS4, there's a lot of glaring pacing issues that I think that the next game could definitely play from. And I know the game's already finished, it's already gold, they're not going to listen to a lot of our suggestions, but basically, I don't care. I want to know what your guys' thoughts are too. I want to know what else you think they could actually improve upon in the comments below. Another thing with the story is also using the villains to their full capacity. Like, they don't really use the villains in the first game, like, at all. Like, they have Shocker, Mr. Negative, Dr. Octavius, Norman Osborn, the first like 2 acts, and then the third act is where you see Electro and freaking Vulture and all these other villains. Rhino, you see those guys come into play, and then they get taken out after like 2 missions with them. So they're really not all there, and I feel like they could definitely improve upon that a lot more. I guess Shocker was also in there too, but again, the villains weren't really used in the story for a meaningful way. They were just kind of there as pawns for Dr. Octavius and Mr. Negative. So I think that they could definitely improve upon that with Kraven, considering the fact that he's coming here trying to like search out the best of the best in New York, and a lot of those villains are superpowered beings that he would probably want to hunt. So I think that makes a lot of sense, and I really hope that they use those villains in a way that, of course, shows that Spider-Man cares about them, because Spider-Man has to go and protect those guys, even though they've been trying to kill him for like over 9 years. So there's a lot of fun things that they could do with that aspect with the villains, and I hope that they actually do use them to the fullest of their ability, because they definitely didn't do that in the last game. And also more emotional scenes. I think that besides like the terrorist attack that they had in the first game, I know that's very emotional, and then of course they had the Doc Ock scene and the final boss scene, the very end, and then Aunt May as well. Those I would say were the most emotional scenes out of all of the game. And I feel like they could have definitely done a lot more. Even with like Miles Morales, their emotional scenes didn't really hit that hard. I think the most hard-hitting one was when you talked to Rio, and that was it. But like besides that, Finn's death, bro, nobody fucking gave a shit about Finn's death. Nobody cared about her going up and blowing herself up. Come on now. I think that, you know, in this game they could definitely do a lot more with Venom and him going personally for Spider-Man, and I think that would be a lot of fun to see how they play upon that and see how that emotionally drains from Miles and Peter. But the emotional aspect, there's a lot that they could do there. They have 2 Spider-Man they could play with. MJ is there, you know, maybe they could fuck with, what's his name? Genki a little bit, or even Haley, you know, Miles' deaf girlfriend. That'd be freaking terrible. That would be horrible. And I overall, things already look better within the story. It looks like, you know, overall the tone looks a lot better in my opinion. I like the tone of the first game. There's a vibe to it, but I think that this one's gonna take itself a little bit more serious in many ways. I guess the first game did, but this one feels like it's really going in a more serious direction, and that's what I mean. I like that. I like that it's going more serious. And just overall, it feels like they're gonna go for a more tragic story, and it's gonna be really, really cool. The third one is the boss battles. The boss battles, I guess we could already say, look amazing based off of the lizard one. So I think that, you know, we're in for a lot of treats in this next one. Because, I mean, like, the fact they already showed 1 lizard boss fight, right? We're probably going to get 2 lizard boss fights, which is so much better than the last game. Because last game, they were more, like, focused on cinematic boss battles than, like, actual difficult boss battles that actually make you use your skill and gadgets. Like, realistically, you don't need to use any gadgets except webbing against Scorpion and Rhino, and you just have to web up Scorpion and then pull some fucking shit down from Rhino, and that was it. And then that's basically all you gotta do. You don't gotta use any other type of gadgets. And then for Vulture and Electro, again, it's just webbing. You just use your webbing, and there's no parrying, none of that stuff. So I feel like there's gonna be a lot more challenging boss fights that really put the player to the test and really make them kind of like try a little bit harder, because they're not really doing that for that last game. They were trying to make you feel a little bit more epic, you know, and even that even shows in the Doc Ock boss fight when you're on the side of the building. Very simple boss fight, very easy going, you know, just dodge a little bit, and I get that criticism a little bit, but for this game it looks like they've already improved upon that with the lizard fight, and anybody complaining about that is a whiny bitch. And of course the last one is the side content. Holy guacamole, the side content is very, very boring. But I actually like the side content, because the feeling of the friendly neighborhood feel, where you're just swinging around being Spider-Man, it really is a lot of fun. Like, you can't really beat being a small-time superhero any better than that. Like, it's so good. And I think that they really do show and make this world feel more alive with, of course, that friendly neighborhood app, and just the first game side missions too, where you just see random characters doing random stuff throughout the world, and it's really, really fun. I also think that, you know, having the boss fights or some crazy random boss fights and like a multitude of these encounters in the side missions would be great. Like, if the first game had that Spider-Man mission end with Chameleon, I think that would have been really cool, and you having to like chase him down and try to figure out what's he doing, like that would be really fun. But they didn't really do that. But if they did that for this game, that would be amazing. Or maybe if they try to do something similar to that Mysterio thing, where he's literally just a boss fight every time you encounter him, or, you know, they just need to put more boss fights within that. Or Taskmaster. Taskmaster was perfect. Having him in the last game, that should have been like every other villain that they've ever had in fucking Spider-Man. They should have had a lot more villains playable in the side mission, or not playable, but as a boss fight in the side content. I think it would have improved a lot better. Keep the friendly neighborhood aspect, and then have another type of missions where you're going out and fighting these villains. And it feels like they're going to be doing that. I really can't wait to see what they're going to be doing in this next game. I want to know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments below. You guys always give me really good thoughts. I personally think that overall this game is a much better game already. Like, it looks like it's so much better graphically, gameplay wise, just overall looks so much better. And I really can't wait to see how this plays when it comes out. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in my next one. Peace out.